Nothing short of wonderful. One of my favourite tunes of the last few years, most definitely. That was Immersion, live in session with How to Be. Okay, your first record came out in 1994 as Immersion.
Yep.
Okay, so, and there's been an awful lot going on in the interim as well, because of course you got Minimal Compact anyway, and then there was Wire, and there was Githead with the both of you in as well.
Yeah.
And solo records. I mean, it's an industry.
Yeah.
Basically, isn't it? And I know, Colin, you have got kind of the rights to a good deal of your back catalogue, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I do own the master rights to its first three albums, and I own the master rights to my first three albums also, which is kind of a thing. And then there's stuff, obviously we've been releasing stuff for Swim since Malka's first solo album, which was 92. And then yeah, I mean, it's just, and then obviously Pink Flag has also been releasing everything from Wire since 2000. So it's like running labels, just doing all this thing as I don't know. I mean, we're great admirers of the Lovely Eggs, you know. I mean, it's that whole thing about, you know, in a way, artists doing stuff and figuring out how to do it themselves and not relying upon other people who don't necessarily always have their best interest at heart to do all of that side of it without getting just sucked into just being like nasty business people. Just, you know, it's just fueling your own creativity.
Yeah, I mean, it's a wonderful... It must be very liberating to be in that situation. And I would imagine that Wire, you never really went through that kind of cottage industry aspect of it, did you, originally?
Not originally, no, not at all.
No. Okay, you were just straight into the glory, weren't you? You know, splitter buses and nice hotels.
Not quite.
I thought you might say that somewhere. WTF was the 10th album by Immersion, I think. Is that
was
right?
It?
I guess.
I don't know. We're not. I don't know.
We're not counting.
We're not counting. Immersion's done a lot of different things, including collaborations and stuff like that. So we might have got to 10. I've got no idea.
I think you are. And so is a number 11 kind of looming large?
It is looming large, actually. Yeah, we're working on new material.
Okay, brilliant stuff. Okay, and so also I know that you both do a radio program together.
We do, yeah. Swimming in Sound on Slack City.
Fabulous. Okay, and so I tell you what, you paid me and Rob Hughes a massive compliment, and it was a couple of years ago where you said you were offered a radio show, and you thought, how can we do this, and with the dynamics and everything, and you said that, I remember you said that you listened to the Parallel Universe with me and Rob, and you thought, it's just a couple of people chatting and who know a lot about music and who are passionate about it.
I think that's the key to it, really.
It's a good model. I mean,
yeah.
You know, the kind of dynamic between two people, it gives it a lot of character.
Yeah, and so is it a kind of a joyous experience for you? Because, I mean, there's so much music out there now. Do you find it difficult to kind of sift through everything and get to the good stuff? Because it is a bit kind of
There's a lot of sieving, yeah. And you have to listen to a lot of stuff you don't appreciate, so you have to be quick and judge very quickly and find the best bits.
You do. I mean, that's a terrible thing, and people have said it forever and a day because it's a truism that, you know, you do listen to the first 30 seconds and kind of have to make your mind up. Which...
Oh yeah, less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, Marc, you don't want to be... Malka does all our initial research, and you just don't want to be in the room when she's doing it because she's just flicking through stuff. I mean, she's going through Brooklyn Vegan and basically saying, yeah, most of this is rubbish, you know, and anything that's got a cover that looks like heavy metal is definitely not even bothered listening to, you know, and we find a lot of stuff. I mean, Malka she's a ninja, basically. She's a ninja selector. I think I'm a great admirer of her skill.
Well, you stand or fall by your choices, don't you? And of course, just because you don't like a record doesn't mean it's a bad record. It's what you have to say, isn't it?
But that's what it's all about. It's our show, so we choose. And
of course,
that's all you've got.
Yeah.
Basically, as you, I mean, you will know this extremely well. We know it from standing here right now. It's not the same as playing a gig. You have no idea who's listening.
Yeah.
You get some feedback from listeners. Our feedback is a bit more remote. You know, it comes through social media. And, you know, it's just like you just have to figure out this is who we are, this is what we do, this is what we like. And if people like it, great. And if they don't like it, they don't have to listen.
That's it. That is ultimately the
but it is a lot of work, isn't it?
It is a lot of work, yeah. The researching.
The whole process, yeah.
Yeah, we put a certain amount of time into researching. You can't just say, here's a record by a band I've never heard of, and it's really good. You need to say a little bit more than that.
Well, we know the law of averages aren't with you, are they? So there'll be a good chance that a lot of what you play would be not to your taste and maybe not to the audience's taste. But anyway.
Yeah.
So there's also some wire activity.
Well, I don't band activity, but we've been doing through Pink Flag a series of Record Store Day releases, and this year's release is a bit special because it's a re-release of what I think is the great lost classic of Wire. It's the last record we made with Bruce. It was called Read and Burn 3. Never came out on vinyl properly. We're doing an expanded version with extra tracks and all the rest of it, so it's a vinyl, including at least one track that hasn't been released. And but we're leading off with a single. There's an edited version of the song 23 Years Too Late, which for core Wire fans is like one of the best Wire songs ever.
It's brilliant.
But it's very long. It's not something you would be able to slip into a show. So the edited version of it is a godsend to radio, and we do think radio these days, and there's also a video. So that actually goes live tomorrow on your favourite streaming channels, and there's a video on YouTube, and so check it out. I mean, the video is a little excerpt, a sort of compilation thing which Malcolm, who's doing the documentary, put together because that's one of his favourite tunes, and he was like, it's a long story about it, but we were 23 years late for a tour that we were supposed to do in 2002 for a tour we were supposed to do in 1979. Right. Obviously that's the humour of it, and so that gives an excuse for the video to feature footage right across the history of the band, really. Right, and you just mentioned the documentary. How long would we have to wait for that, do you think? I'll ask Malcolm. Right, Malcolm, when can we expect the... No, he can't hear. Yeah. Okay, then, so we've got Immersion live in session. You've got 2 more songs to do. You're going to do Use It, Don't Lose It now, aren't you? We're going to do that, yeah. Brilliant, thank you. Okay.